Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's AC from Vaporized Nomads. Today we're going to look at a pricey little mod. It's the Phantom by Glass. Let's do it. So you're watching this and you're thinking, AC, why are you blowing such baby clouds? Well, there's a reason, people. When you're building over one ohm, it's just hard for me anyway, because I'm not used to building over one ohm, to get those big clouds. Why are we building over one ohm, you might ask? Well, it's because what we're using today. It's called the Phantom mod by Glass. Pricey little piece. Here, I'll let you take a look at it. Oh, there she is, fellas. A sapphire button. Sleek tube, nice engraving. She's a beauty, but she's got one major problem. There she is. That's right. The 18490 or 500 battery is what fits this mod. That's the reason we're vaping over one ohm today. I don't really feel comfortable getting around. I think 0.75 is listed on the sheet as maybe safe, or right at the breaking line anyway, but even when you're building that high, you have to take that long of a pull. You're really taxing your battery pretty hard, so I kept this around 1.1 ohm build. Having said that, let's talk about the mods. So Glass is a company that builds some pretty expensive mods right off the bat. I'll tell you, this Phantom right here, $345 MSRP if you go to Glass's site. A couple of things going on here. So Glass claims to use the best material, have the best engineering, the lowest voltage drops. They make a lot of claims, I got to be honest with you. So I'll tell you what, let's go to the table, let's take a look at the mod, and we'll come back and I'll tell you what I think about it. How's that sound? So here we are, let's take a look at the Glass mod. So here's the box that it comes in. Very well packaged. It's actually got a soft feel to it, doesn't got a rough cardboard feel at all. Take the top off. This beautiful little leather pouch inside, and I'm not sure this leather. I guess I should check that out. But anyway, we'll call it at a minimum pleather. So let's see what we got in here. And actually, there's a couple of batteries in here. I think Matt had actually sent me one battery. He was scared I didn't have one. Matt Friedman is the guy who sent me this mod. Had bought it and sent it over to me. So what we got here is a couple of 18, one of them's 18490 and one of them's 18500. Basically the same size battery. Anyway, so let's pull out the mod and take a look at it here. So there she is, the Phantom by Glass. You can kind of see the exterior of it. It's a very sleek little mod. It's a pretty nice font on the side. Nothing extraordinary there. Real simple. I think that's what they were going for. It's a simplistic look. Let's look at the bottom real quick. This is it. They just really talked this up. This sapphire glass with the aluminum milled coin inside. It does have a really nice look, I'll say that much. Anyway, so what we got here, what Glass calls a aerospace grade stainless. I'm not sure. I'm going to imagine this 304 stainless. I have no idea. Most of the time when people give a description like that, they've got some pretty normal stuff they're using. I don't know either way. What I will tell you, this is not a coating. This thing has simply been bead blasted with a soft material. And it's got a nice feel though. It's got a matte look with still a slick feel to it. Do like the way that feels. Let's take a look inside the top cap. So the way this works when you screw an atomizer on it is, it's basically spring-loaded from both sides. So spring-loaded there, and I could get something to poke that down, but just trust me, that's spring-loaded. So what you basically have are these silver rhodium pins, what they're calling them. I'm not familiar with that material. Maybe proprietary, I don't know. I can tell you I've dealt with a vast array of materials in my career and have never heard of that. So maybe my ignorance to it may be proprietary and could just be bullshit. I don't know. Anyway, so it's a pretty cool design the way that works right there. Now, I will tell you this. I don't know if this piece is threaded in or is simply punched in. I attempted gently to remove it. I'll just be honest with you. This does not belong to me. It belongs to a friend of mine, and I am not going to rip this thing apart, tear it up to find out. I will tell you that it's a spring-loaded pen. I'll tell you that glass claims it got very little voltage drop through it, so I'm assuming that their claims of having a good amount of silver in here are in fact true, if those other claims are true. Having said that, let's look at the bottom assembly where the magic happens. So there you go, get your serial number right inside, right there on the snap ring around. PH062, I'm assuming that's Phantom 062. Get the small snap ring that holds your firing pin in place. One thing I'll tell you, when I first opened this mod up and looked at this irked me right here. You've got a $345 mod with a snap ring. You can find an AutoZone laying in here. I would have liked, at least coat the damn thing, make it look like it belongs here. That was a little disappointing. Bottom, like I said, looks really nice. Sapphire edges are all right. I don't have a problem with the actual machine quality of the mod is pretty decent. I don't have any issues with the build quality of it. The people who actually built it looks like they knew what they were doing. So let's pop his snap ring out. We'll see how she operates. Okay, so snap ring's out. Lay it right over here to the side. And let's see what's behind door number 1. So if you've read anything about glass, you've probably read they have gold-plated rare earth magnets. And by what I can tell, that is true. You see the magnets in there, actually a pair of smaller magnets on both sides. One with the smaller ones, I don't know why they didn't use the one thicker magnet. Be honest with you, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm not sure. That's something you would have to ask somebody there. I don't know if it was a sourcing issue. I don't know if it was a thickness issue. They were looking for something they couldn't get with one thicker one. Anyway, so let me explain to you kind of how this works, if you can go with me here. If you look at the piece here, the actual firing switch to my left hand, you'll see a little ball that's down in there. What that ball does is ride in these two grooves right here, rather not ride in these two grooves. You'll see this was slotted all the way down, and this one's only slotted at the bottom. So what happens is the ball rolls around in the supposedly locked position. That ball would be here. Would not allow the it just doesn't need to go up and down because you're locked in. So what it does is give you that little positive click and feel right there, and here it simply rides up and down. It doesn't need to be locked. On the firing switch, it's going to be hard for you to tell the best angle I can get on this thing. But what they've done here is take a radius end mill, and they've cut it pretty shallow right here at what would be your top right now, and this trench actually gets deeper as it comes around 180 degrees. So what happens is the pin right here rides in that trench. So let's put this back together real quick. So I said the pin rides in that trench. As you spin that mod to lock it or to open it, that pin will basically get shallower as it rides in that trench and should become locked to where you cannot fire the mod. If you see right now, I've got it turned back. It's going to be a little crunchy because I'm snap ringing it. That is in the unlocked position. And the lock position. When I put this back together, it'll make a little bit more sense as to what I'm saying. But I'll tell you what, now that you've seen the inside of it, let me throw a snap ring back in it, and I'll show you one of the issues with this. So with our snap ring back in, and this is in the unlocked position, we rotate it to the lock position. you'll hear it stopping right there. So let's look at something. Press on the button, barely moves there. So this is right about the side where the pin is riding in the ball mill. As we move around, you'll see that the firing button actually moves more on one side than the other. And why does it do that? Well, there's a reason, obviously. So where that trench is cut is only on one side. So what it does, it locks in the pin on one side, right there. However, on the other, it's able to tilt on its axis. If you see that right there, you'll see that fire pin is barely encroaching into the battery space in the chamber. This locking mechanism is pointless. I have put different batteries in it. I put different addies on it. The simple fact the battery is locked or unlocked, this mod will fire. Thankfully, the mod and a small addy are not heavy enough to fire this button. So you can set it down. Would I tote it around and use it? Hell no. Because you're going to set it down eventually and it's going to fire. This was an absolutely gorgeous idea. The machine quality of this piece is, I think, right up there with some of the best. The execution of this design, however, the troubleshooting, the testing, the making sure it worked before it went out the door, in my opinion, a failure in every aspect. The top cap is almost worthless. Make sure I'm being fair here. We'll use this tube. I'm going to use the shorter advertised battery, the 18490, which I would never use this battery in the first place. Anyway, so I'll tell you what, let's do this. I'm going to use one of my older RDAs. This is a Forge V1.5 from MCV. Not known for having a very lengthy 510 connection, I can tell you that. And I will say this was indicative of most all my RDAs that I tried to screw onto this mod right here. Okay, get that screw in. I guess you can see that gap right there. And I will tell you that is physically as tight as I'm willing to get that right there. I've got more pressure on this than I would put on my mods when I'm toting around during the day. Just so you can hear no battery rattle, nothing fishy going on there. Like I say, this was indicative of most of my RDAs. I've tried, to be fair, approximately 12 or 13 RDAs on before I found a vector and it fit on. So, like I say, there were some great ideas here in this mod. There is some great machine quality here in this mod. Very poor execution of final product, I'll say. But anyway, it is a nice, sleek mod for a collector. Somebody's just going to collect it and not use it. I guess, you know, I really don't even see the value for that. For the materials here, in my opinion, for what I see, unless I had a PMI gun and could tell you differently, these are some pretty standard off-the-shelf materials. There's nothing here that just screams expensive to me, especially not $345 worth. So, for me, I think there's a lot of smoke going on here. But anyway, I'll tell you what, we'll go back up top. I'll give you my final thoughts on it, and you'll get out of here. Okay, so we've been down on the table. We looked at how the mod was built. You kind of understand what's going into it now. So, let me show you a couple things about this mod real quick. One in particular. So, I got it unlocked right now. You hear that? So, let's lock it. You hear that? Yeah, up close we looked at how that mechanism worked in there, where the button's been milled out and apparently it's supposed to be locked. So far I've tried 3 different batteries in this and several different RDAs. I have never been able to get this mod to lock. And I discussed that a little bit in the close-up of why this button was not a well executed, why the button itself is not a well executed piece of hardware. Very good idea, very poorly engineered. Also with the top cap, like we looked at in the up close. So the reason I'm using the Vector, out of over 20 RDAs I have sitting on my shelf in here, the Vector is the only RDA or Addy. I didn't try any tanks, let me give you that first off, but the only dripping atomizer that would fit flush down on this tube right here. So I guess all in all, let me say this. Was this a good design idea? The base idea, yeah, there's some groundbreaking stuff here. The way the button should lock. The firing pin up here, the way it adjusts, for me it was kind of reinventing the wheel. They made it so complex and difficult in the top end that when you have a problem, like your Addy won't screw all the way down, there's no way to fix it. You're locked out from it. And then, of course, the major problem is it's an 18490 or 500 mod. I mean, this is 2015. Nobody, let me not say anybody, nobody. Most people are not interested in using an 18500 battery. And the people that don't know any better, that would use this, that maybe would buy a $345 mod that has no more thought than this has into it, that's the people that are going to kill themselves and turn this into a pipe bomb. So from the standpoint of this mod, not Glass as a company, but with this Phantom right here, for me, is this mod worth $345? For me, this mod isn't worth $50, to be honest with you. It's pretty much worthless as a usable day-to-day mod for me, and I would say most of the people that I know. For somebody to build over 0.5 ohms on a dripper today would be highly irregular. To have a mod that the locking button will not lock on, and it's locked right now, or in lock position rather, it speaks to some poor craftsmanship. And I've tried to research Glass, and I should have went further with it. I never could find out where Glass actually has their products manufactured. I can say this: if it was made in America, I feel like they would advertise that pretty hard. It would be a selling point. For me, I can only assume that it's not. Having said that, I never verify it either way. Some of the materials that are talked about on their website, I'm very skeptical about. I'll be honest with you when we say this aerospace grade stainless. Well, what grade of stainless is it, people? You're talking to us like we're idiots. Is it 304? Is it 316? Is it some trashy 409 that you would put in a bowler? I mean, let's say what the stainless is. I mean, let's not treat people like they're idiots. The implication is, when you go to their website and you look at their addresses, is that this is an American-made product. And if it is true that this is an American-made product, it's not built overseas, say in China somewhere, I got to say it really speaks to where America's going and where America's headed with its craftsmanship. A $345 mod that the locking button doesn't work on, the top cap will not adjust right, and all in all, I'll tell you, the body of the mod itself, they've done a really good job of marketing this. But really, this is a lathed down stainless tube that's been semi-polished and blasted with a soft media. That's it. The only other thing is the sapphire button here. You can get any knockoff cheap watch with sapphire glass in it. That's no big deal. We've got some, I think they call it aluminum jewel coin or something in the bottom. A piece of aluminum that's been milled out and has some shiny stuff on it. It's got a piece of sapphire glass over it. This kind of stuff makes me sad, guys. I love expensive products. I love nice, luxurious things, and I like going to bat for people who make quality products and charge high prices for them. You can watch my other videos. I go to bat for people who do that. I can't go to bat for this company right here. This is a poor excuse for a refined piece of hardware. I do want to thank Matt Friedman for sending it over to me for me to review. Maybe someday I'll get my hands on another Glass product and decide, this was just a lemon right here. I don't know. Matt, I appreciate you letting me take the time. I hate that the review went this way, but it's like I always tell you, man, I'm going to be honest when I review something. I think that's what you expected out of me. So I assume that Matt got this from a person and not from Glass. So I'll just say to Glass, I hope you watch this, and I hope you get your shit together. we've got people out here that supposedly American manufacturers that are basically competing on a Chinese level right now. I'll say it really speaks to our craftsmanship here in America, and it breaks my heart that you're charging people $345 for this mod. If that's the case, I see that's the MSRP. I'm sure you can get it cheaper, but all I say is get for real, people. I mean, if you want something that's truly a phantom mod, something that works well, pick up a simple mod. This, I'm going to say at least an inch shorter than this, with an 18650 battery in it. So keep that in mind. Anyway, well guys, I hate the review went as sour as it did, because you know, when I got this mod, I really wanted to like it. Yeah, this is a pretty little mod. I mean, Lisa really liked it. I think she was brokenhearted that I was going to give it the review that I did. But hey, what I'm trying to do is just educate you, tell you how I feel about a product. Obviously, there's just my opinions. Go out and pick you one up, see how you feel about it. Maybe you love it. If you like vaping over 1 ohms, maybe this is the mod for you. For me, it's just not. But I appreciate you watching. I hope this has lended to your knowledge of this product, and I hope it helps you make a conscious decision whether to spend your money or not. Peace out, YouTube.